To the DCG update, to DCG's development update. We are here with the platform, the core, and the mobile teams to give you an update on the progress of what happened in the past 2 weeks. We are planning this session for 60 minutes, and if you have any question, please please ask them in the live chat below. Put a Q or a question prefix so we will know it is dedicated to the Q&A session that we will have at the end. Without further ado, let's start with the platform team and with Sam. Sam?
Hello. Sure. Having a bad hair day, I can see. Yeah, so there was a lot of stability improvements in these last 2 weeks. We're going to get into that. A lot of work on SDK and continuous integration, continuous delivery. Why is CI? Continuous integration.
Yeah, CD.
Sorry, pushed me off a little bit. I think we already had that 2 weeks ago. And Ivan worked on Dashmade, getting it ready for the next version. And me, Paul, and Odysseus were working on the Dash Evo tool as well. So let's get into things. We're going to talk about the SDK first. Who's taking this one?
Yeah,
Łukasz.
Hi. So basically, let me start with SDK. We did work with some communication layer of SDK. Basically, the biggest issue was to retry operations. In previous sprint, we did retry for the read operations, where we read objects from the platform. And right now, we did that retry logic for broadcast or operations, state transitions, and things that basically modify the state, so that we send from the node, from the SDK to the network. And it works by just, so the feature that is implemented right now is that we detect if some node is stale. So it didn't update its chain. It's not on the tip of the chain. If it is stale, then we just don't retry operation with another node. That's the logic. And also we will ban this address in future of that stale node for some time, so that SDK will not retry. Ivan is working on this right now. And also, Ivan did some fix to DAPI address where empty address wasn't allowed. So we also work with Ivan on CI/CD. Ivan, do you want to take it from here?
Yes, Lucas, thank you. Yeah, we spent one sprint. This doesn't let me speak even. And I think we achieved our goal, and the main idea was to reduce the cost, which was quite big, which is unacceptable in our current situation. So the main work here is optimization to speed up the pipelines, so to make them faster, and utilize the cache as much as possible, so do not do double work between the jobs in the pipeline and between the different runs, which is also speed up the overall pipeline as well. And switching to the GitHub hosted runners instead of using self-hosted runners in AWS. We also optimized the Docker image. So previously we built the images all the time if anything changed. So you change DAPI, and we built Drive as well. And so the context wasn't scoped. We fixed that. and we migrated to the cheaper S3 compatible storage provider. Lucas, could you remind me what the name of it? It's important.
Black base or something like that.
Yeah,
Base.
yeah, much cheaper than AWS. So yes, now we should pay like a few dollars per day, I think, for our CI, and in overall we got faster or same performance comparing with what we had before, and much less pain for infrastructure team and developers. Yeah. Yes, Dashmate. Last week, thanks to Slavic, we identified few issues in their SSL, and something changed, I think, in the API response of their SSL service. To me, it looks like a bug. So it's responding with the error, and you basically need to retry, and it works. So there is another error, but the certificate is actually appearing there. So we had to handle this in our Dashmate code, and fixed another bug related to the, you probably saw it, if you're running obtain command and canceling and run it again, you might see this container name is already in use. It's fixed, and some minor fix for Dashmate Doctor if the metrics are enabled. Thank you. Others. Yeah, mobile guys cooked a new contract for the DashPay for wallet. It contained currently at this point it contains only transaction metadata, so you can store some memo or some additional information with your transaction, and stores in data contract in encrypted way. So our work was to introduce this system contract to the platform, and it will be created when protocol version will be switched to version 6, and this contract will be registered on the chain. And we fixed the same bug in block processing function. You didn't notice that for sure because it was it didn't break the system, but we saw it. It was an internal error during we process the transaction if the nonce is incorrect. So now it's fixed, and we had to. It's a breaking change, so we had to bump protocol version as well.
Let's go. Well, one thing that you didn't explain, I think, well enough, is that this wallet. What is this wallet util system contract for? Well, it's allowing the mobile team to store extra information about transactions encrypted on Evo. So, for example, you can set a memo. You can set the cost of the dollar cost average or the local currency cost of or sorry, the exchange rate when the transaction went through. A lot of this stuff can be set automatically and then encrypted into some storage that you have on Evo, and allows for extra information. And it doesn't, and it's not able to be traced back to the transaction either. There's a dip on it. So anyways, I just thought it would be cool to say a little bit more about it. Maybe more will be said in the mobile section though. Okay, let's go forward. Yeah, so I worked on a very, very, very hard problem that we had. that I'd like to thank Owl352 for, who found the issue and put an issue on our GitHub. And it was basically that when we were using start at or after on an index that was only partially used, things wouldn't work properly. So why was this? So if we look at the diagram on the right side, if let's imagine we make a query. In this diagram that we see, we see like car models. They can be a sedan or an SUV, and they can like a sedan can be Honda or Toyota, car type Accord Civic, Camry, Corolla. These are this is basically mimics how the underlying trees work in GroveDB. So, for example, if we were to say, give me cars that is an SUV after the document that I put there that starts with 29F8E, basically it would let if if the subsection of the brand name had, well, it's actually really hard to understand. Anyways, it's been fixed. There's a PR for it. I'm not going to try to explain it. I don't think many people would be able to understand, but basically it would actually skip over some values. And what needed to happen was that we needed to use a recursive conditional subquery. So basically, if we were on the path of the index, we would use a conditional subquery. If we were not on the path, we would use a non-conditional subquery and take all the values. For example, if you do after here, you can see that, in Nissan, in card type and Rogue, you would want all of the ones down there in this list. But on the path, you want only the one after 29F80. Very complex problem. It was the bane of my existence for about 4 to 5 days. So it's done, and it will be released in 1.6, and yep, all good. By the way, just so people do know, this is only a problem if the index used was partial, and that basically means that if you did a query and your data contract had the index that you were querying and all the fields were present, then there would have been no issue. But we do some optimization that if you do a query and there is no index that you really want, but there's an index that can still work for your query, just a little bit less efficiently, we use that index. And that's the case where we had this problem. Okay. So version 1.6. Yeah, for the past month or so, we have fixes that we've been doing, and no massive feature, but a lot of small stuff. So we're gonna release a version 1.6. We expect it to be out this Thursday, and we expect the activation to happen around December 14th. Let's move on to -evo tool. Who's taking this? Paul, Odysseus? Who wants to?
Well, I can say something. So I guess we just released v0.4, and we are soon going to also release v0.5 because Sam is actually, I guess you just finished identity top up and we didn't include it. So, but v0.4, I think, I mean, basically we did a lot of bug fixes and cleaning things up, and Sam added some new features like this proof logs and visualizer screen. Um, yeah, Sam, maybe you want to talk about that?
Yeah, sure. So there were a few big things in 0.4. First one, proof log and visualizer, not very exciting feature, but basically if there's a bug, it will log the bug into a section, and then you can go into the section, see those bugs, and then send them to us, and then we can fix it really quickly, and then there are no more errors. Also, internally for us, this is very helpful because now we can immediately, whenever we see an error, we can just see, oh, there's an error. Let's see how to fix it, and it's done. So much faster to find issues. The next one is fund new identities with wallet balance. I also did that. So this is something that basically some people have been, wait, I sent money to this address and there was a bug, and where did my money go? Well, it actually went into your wallet balance, but it was in purgatory there because this feature did not yet exist. And now it does. So you can take your wallet balance and send it to an identity. However, we still don't have sending your wallet balance to another core address. That's not in 0.4. The next ones are no, we're not done. We're not done. We even have a demo.
Can I talk about the rest of the bullets?
Yeah, you go ahead.
Okay. So first thing first, now you can basically, some people asked to allow Dash Evil tool to customize the path of Dash Qt. So basically, you want to use some specific Dash Qt version, so you can pass the path. And also another option that you can select or not, whether you want to override the Dash configuration with the default one shipped with Dash Bottle. So this one was asked by some people, so we decided to implement it. Then we got a slightly better troubleshoot, not troubleshoot, workaround for Windows. So we re-enabled the ZimQ connectivity detection indicator, although it's not really connectivity detection is happening behind. We are just, measuring when was the last time we got a message, and hence we decide to show that the the connection is lost. It's a bit complicated to do this because the specific library that we use for Windows doesn't support disconnect and connect connectivity, since the ZimQ sockets are subscription sockets, so it's a kind of specific sockets. But anyway, we'll maybe find a more good solution in the future. And last, we have people have reported crashes on old CPUs, especially in the x86 architecture. So just to avoid having crashes, as a temp solution again, we decided to, detect at least incompatible machine instructions at startup, showing a message, and gracefully exit in the case of those incompatible machine codes. Therefore, I was just informed that we have a false positive case So we will have also a hotfix included in v0.5 that will, remove this false positive detection. Thanks.
Cool, cool, cool. Okay, well, I'm gonna do a demo then. Yeah. Give me a second. Share. Do you guys see Dash Evo tool?
Yep.
A little bit bigger. All good? Okay, so this is testnet. Core is connected. Two big features. Well, first feature is the here we have the proof logs, right? So we can basically see which errors we've had in the past. This was a while ago, but you can click on it. It can give you the information in hex of the thing, and also give you the proof in JSON. And based off of this, with a lot of pain and suffering, we can debug. It also shows the path query that was used. And in this case, these bugs happened because the limit was not set. And it was very easy to see that once we had all this information. So, not a big feature for external users, but for us, it's kind of cool. Next one is, okay, let's imagine, okay, let's go into the wallet here. We need to, oh, why is core not connected?
That's the error that you just retry normally.
Oh, yeah. Okay. So here's an address. I'm going to send some money to it. So I'm going to send it. I don't know, 0.1, no, 1.337 dash and sent. There we go. We see it appear here. Oh, this should not be reading total received. It should be reading balance, but I'll fix that right quickly. And then we go in here and let's create a new identity with that. So identity index 2. The fact that it's not 2 is because I have a slightly corrupted wallet right now. Key selection mode default, but here we see use wallet balance that we didn't have before, and we can use all the balance max, and we can create the actually let's use 5 here. Waiting for platform acknowledgement. Da, 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 da. Why is it taking so long? Why? Why? There you go. And we're good, and our identity was created with the balance showing right here. Okay, now let's say we want to top up. This is another feature, new feature. Not in version 0.4, but in version 0.5. Version 0.5 will come very shortly because we do have the feature ready. So here, follow these steps to top up your identity. Select funding method, address, whatever, and then we just send money here. Send. Sent. And there we go. starting the process, waiting for platform acknowledgement. And that was fast this time. Okay, done. Identity topped up, and we see instead of 1337, we just added 0.5 dash as well. And there we go. The identity is topped up. And if we go to the chain, if we go to Platform Explorer, we see that we just did an identity create and an identity top up. If you go to testnet.platformexplorer.com. So, yep, all working. Extra new features, always good. Okay, cool. That's it for this demo. Is there anything else that we need to show, guys, on Dash Evo tool?
You can go to network selection screen.
Okay.
Yeah, and
Oh, yeah.
yeah, so here you can point to a specific dash, and if you deselect override dash conf, do it just to show something.
Oh, I'm so afraid.
Yeah, so it says that make sure to have those settings. Otherwise, you won't be getting the ZimQ notifications. Not messages, I meant.
Cool.
And also, whatever you select, it's persistent. So the next time you open the tool, it will keep the same setting.
Excellent. And yeah, and some of the bug fixes were it's probably not in this version because this version hasn't had the bug fixes merged into it around the what is it, the voting, contested resource voting, but that is in 0.4. Okay, cool. So let's move on to core. Let me stop sharing and oh, I guess I stopped sharing.
Says my screen sharing is paused. Okay, 1 second. And let's continue with the core team. Core team. Oh no. Pasta.
He's
That's
not
bad.
here.
He must be a technical difficulty. So let's continue with mobile and maybe we can get back to core when he arrives.
Sure.
Sorry. Thank you.
All right. Thanks for that.
Thank you, Brian.
Yeah, so you go to the first slide there on Android. We had a decent amount of UI fixes on DashPay, as well as some translation corrections that need to be made on a couple languages. A new feature coming out soon called Quick Voting lets you or masternode owners quickly vote on a whole bunch of requests at the same time based on whatever criteria you select. Other design improvements, particularly related to username voting, that's coming out very shortly as well. And the system contract that was discussed earlier on platform, that's still kind of in a review status, but we have a couple steps on mobile once that contract is deployed to kind of finalize that work. In addition to what Sam had mentioned on some of the benefits, one of the things that we've always faced on Dash Wallet was since we don't retrieve historical prices, if you end up restoring your wallet on some other device with a transaction history, all those historical transactions don't have a stored price. So storing everything on platform will allow us to retain that history. So that'll be a much better user experience on that front. And in addition, there's a lot of DashPay related, transaction metadata that Sam already discussed there. That'll be stored too. Yeah, the 1103, we started that rollout a little over a week ago, or about a week ago now. That has been fully rolled out now, and we will actually be starting to roll out an 1104 as well. That'll probably start tomorrow. And a small feature to remove masternode keys on DashPay for voting, that's in progress, and an enhancement to take the fees from fee percentages from CrowdNode from their API instead of hard coding it. So that's it on Android. On iOS, work continues on DashSync to get that up and running. Some other shared services for disabling some dev features that was causing some issues with some other areas of the app. The UI work related to contested username submission. And so what started out as kind of a UI related issue on CoinJoin or balance mixing turned into kind of a much bigger challenge that we're still trying to deal with on the back end with regards to just the management of the coin mixing process. So that's put some delays on us getting that out, but that flashing progress indicator was kind of the start of kind of a rat's nest, I suppose. Those same dynamic fees on CrowdNode and a sync issue relating to Evenode withdrawal transactions. Can move on to the next slide. So on Android, all the great items I've already talked about, so I won't talk about that anymore. I mentioned, we had planned by the 14th of November to have the first mainnet rollout, although the app has been available publicly for everybody. It was more of in a beta stage, so this is the first full mainnet rollout, and that's been fully rolled out as of today. And as I said, on 1104, will be coming out probably within the next day or two, just with some other fixes relating to some crashes and other bugs that we identified. And the next, I'd say, feature related release will be for invitations and any other fixes that come up from the last releases that we've done. I was hoping to get that out in November, but we did have some other issues that we had to deal with, so it probably will end up being December, early December for that. So that's it on Android. I removed the more extensive release plan I had for iOS because there are still a decent amount of unknowns relating to when we're going to have kind of all of the DashSync libraries, functioning. So that right now I'm just putting a soft target of January for DashPay to get out on iOS, but it's a very soft target. We need to get past the next week or two of work before we can really kind of pin down a more accurate date. As far as the balance mixing on Dash Wallet, again, was hoping for that to be November. It still could be in the later days of November, but for now I'm just going to say early December, and hopefully we can get that out in the next few days. So that's it on mobile.
Thank you very much. Let's continue with the questions then. So we have two questions. The first question, any comments about how long distribution from Evo nodes? Like, how long does it take? CrowdNode team replied me that they received Dash rewards from Evo nodes with huge delay. I waited almost 3 weeks to get my Dash rewards. Sam, would you like to comment that?
Sure. So basically, when the feature first came out, there was a backlog. And currently, there is no backlog anymore. So they happen they don't happen immediately. let's we've been talking about this for a while, but I'll do a refresher. So in version 22 of Dash Core, there was a issue. Basically, a mistake was made, and it only allowed the top 2 quorums to sign a withdrawal instead of all 24. What does that actually mean? That means that only basically a few hours per day could you make the withdrawal. Now, this had been released, and to change this functionality, we needed a new version of Core. So, you know, we decided in the platform team that, you know, well, that's better than nothing, right? We can still do withdrawals a few hours per day. So let's just do that. And so we made that happen. And then because the system was pretty new, we had always wanted to make sure that like not all of platform balance could be removed at once in case that there was like a big issue, right? This is new software. So we had limited the withdrawal to 1,000 dash per day from the platform chain. Those two things combined led to a few weeks of delays in withdrawals. That's all. I mean, the queue is pretty much empty right now. So now it only takes up to 24 hours. But after we get to version 22, yes, version 22 of Core. Yes. The amount that we're allowed to withdraw per day changes from 1,000 dash to 2,000 dash. And on top of that, we'll no longer have this, you know, only pretty much a few hours per day issue. So those two things combined should make things, you know, allow people to withdraw at any time almost immediately. But still, for now, it's like within less than a day. And yeah, I hope that answers the question.
All right, thank you very much. The second question is, Sam, sorry for bothering you and the dev team, but please answer us. Do you have any information about DCG plans on Dash marketing? Platform is working, but there is no news or information in media.
It's very simple. DCG does not do marketing. That's it. We do not have any people in marketing inside of DCG. So if we do marketing, it needs to be done from an external source, or new people need to be hired. We're not going to be taking developers and ask them to market. So that's the answer.
All right, thank you very much. All right, is there anything else we would like to discuss, share, or announce? So unfortunately, Pasta couldn't make it, but he will give a written update in the announcements.
Why don't we just quickly go over his slides to see what he wrote, though?
Oh,
No?
okay. I mean,
Just to share.
yeah.
I'll do my best to say what was done. I mean, I don't know, but I'll read it out to people.
1 second. So go back to the slide and reshare my screen.
Okay. So from what we've heard from Pasta over the last day or so is that V22 is not yet done. They're still working on an issue that they've recently discovered. And they believe that they still need about a week or two until they can release it to mainnet. Does anybody know better than me? Sorry, this is a different team. Does anybody here know better than me what that issue was? Ivan, do you know by any chance?
Yeah, it's something with mixture. CoinJoin.
Something with CoinJoin?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, well,
I mean, I can read. I have a link to this PR. Send this queue message. Move this queue replay into net processing. Peerman.
oh, it says that if it's this one, handling of DSQ messages, reducing bandwidth requirements, they put that one as done. Bear with us, guys. We're learning this at the same time.
It's merged, actually. I mean, this PR
It's merged. Okay.
It's merged.
So I guess they just need some additional testing.
Yeah. They were going to test with mobile guys. So
okay. So that's
I guess we should
probably
expect that.
Yeah.
I guess we should expect RC too soon.
Is there another slide, Balash? Oh, yes, this is beautiful. It's all written. DevNet testing went well. Integration with platform complete. RC1 released. Small bug discovered. RC2 to be released today, tomorrow, and testnet activation following. Excellent. Final version to be released in 1.2 weeks upon completion of testnet testing. Excellent, guys. I just said that.
Do we even need pasta now?
Yeah.
All right.
We all need pasta.
Thanks for the update. And here are the merged PRs. You can see here.
Wow,
copy them and look them up.
Yep. They did.
Pasta is needed at least 2 times a week.
All right. Thank you guys for joining to the update, for asking questions, and see you in 2 weeks.